My name is Aris Thorne. I am the Director of Special Projects for Alliance Intelligence. I do not command fleets. I command secrets. My war is fought in quiet rooms where lies are born. The air on the command bridge hums with the low thrum of life support, a constant reminder of the void outside. On the hollow table before me, the Orion spur burns. Green for us, red for the Praxian hegemony. And one system, Xylos, blinks an angry, defiant red. Xylos is a fortress, a choke point guarding the entire Attican sector. A direct assault is suicide. The High Command debated for weeks. Their talk of miracle weapons was the sound of a losing side. I remained silent. Force was a hammer. This problem required a scalpel. After the final grim meeting, Commander Eva Rostova approached me, the hero of the silent shadow conflict. She didn't just look at the map. She saw the mind behind it. That was her gift, seeing the person, not the position. "The target isn't Xylos, Aris," she said, her voice low as she slid a data slate across the table. "It's him." On the screen was a detailed psychological profile of High Commander Korg, his victories, his doctrines, his vanities. "He's a predator who trusts only what he can kill," she continued. "We can't break down his door. We have to give him a wounded animal to chase." Her plan was madness. It was beautiful. Operation Stardust Ghost. We would not trick their sensors. We would hack their minds. We would tell them a story they desperately wanted to believe. And the heart of that story would be a dead man. A hero lost in a battle that never happened, carrying a lie that would change the war. We could not use a real casualty. The Praxians have psionic readers. They can sense the fading echo of a soul. The body had to be a blank slate. I authorized the creation of a biosynth. In the sterile quiet of the biolab, one of my technicians flagged a ghost in the data. "A random neural flicker, Director," she reported. "Unprogrammed. Probably just a cascade failure." I told her to ignore it. The air smelled of ozone as the flesh printers hummed, weaving muscle onto a bone scaffold that was, an hour ago, just a bag of minerals. We gave him a name. Major Kalen Vance. But a man is more than flesh. He is the sum of his life. My team, the best storytellers in the Alliance, created a life. Homeworld, Jericho 7. Family, a stern, retired admiral for a father, a musician sister on Mars. We forged their letters. We gave him flaws, a reckless streak, a small debt. We even created memories, simulated neural recordings. Eva stood with us as we watched them for the first time. Simulated log, Major Kalen Vance. Stardate 54.8.22. Alara sent me a new image today. One of her alien flowers. This one glows in the dark. She says it reminds her of the nebula near Jericho. It's funny. I'm out here surrounded by 1 billion stars, but that one little flower on a world I've never seen. It feels like the brightest thing in the galaxy. She told me to be safe. I promised I would. A soldier's promise. Easy to make, hard to keep. But for her, I'll try. Debrief fragment. Major Kalen Vance. Combat Sim 7C. Target neutralized. Airframe integrity at 87%. The new inertial dampeners are sluggish on the uptake. Recommend recalibration before field deployment. The simulation ended. The room was silent. Eva turned away from the screen, her expression unreadable. "Good," she said, her voice quiet. "They'll believe he loved her." We were falling for our own lie. Major Vance was becoming real to us, and we were about to kill him. Across the void, on the Praxian command cruiser Vigilance, Sub-Director Talar of the Obsidian Hand dismissed another false alarm. Her superior, High Commander Korg trusted strength, not whispers. The Terrans are predictable, Korg would rumble. They will throw their fleet at Xylos and break upon our shields. Talar was not so sure. She saw patterns in the static that others missed. A faint, almost undetectable rhythm in Alliance comms chatter that had shifted. It was a story waiting to be told. The lie Vance would carry had to be perfect. My team crafted battle plans for a massive invasion of a worthless nebula called the Serpent's Coil. Alliance doctrine for ghost couriers favored decorated, mid-rank officers. They attracted less attention than a general, but their records provided the perfect cover. The final touch was a personal letter from our own fleet admiral, chaining the man to the lie. The stage was set. Major Vance, dressed in his flight suit, was placed in the cockpit of a wrecked fighter. The forged letters in his pocket. The data slate with the false plans chained to his wrist. A stealth ship carried the wreckage to the Corsair's drift and placed it in the path of a Praxian patrol. Then it vanished. We waited. A Praxian scout found the wreck. A lone Terran fighter, sub-director. The report came to Talar's station. One body aboard? Talar felt a prickle of suspicion. Too neat. But High Commander Korg was already celebrating. A prize delivered by fate, he bellowed. They brought the body aboard. The obsidian hand went to work. Talar watched as the stolen codes bypassed the Alliance encryption with a satisfying click. A triumphant grin spread across High Commander Korg's face as the plans for the Serpent's Coil invasion bloomed on the main screen. Talar read the file on Major Kalen Vance. She saw the perfect life, the hero pilot, the loving family, the tragic romance. And her suspicion grew. It is a story, High Commander, she argued in the strategy chamber. A perfectly constructed narrative. Why would a major be carrying fleet-level plans alone? Korg dismissed her with a wave. He was a hero, a courier. The Admiral's letter confirms it. He pointed to the map. Our own intelligence reported a Terran buildup near the Serpent's Coil. It was true. We had leaked that information weeks ago via our assets on Juno Station. A breadcrumb. Their arrogance will be their undoing, Korg declared. Hubris is a powerful drug. Talar saw the trap, but her commander saw only glory. She was overruled. The order was given. The great Praxian shield wall at Xylos began to move. They turned their backs on the true prize, chasing a phantom. On my bridge, I watched the red icons shift. The door was opening. A quiet cheer went up from my team, but I felt a cold knot in my stomach. I thought of Talar, a worthy adversary, undone by the arrogance of her leader. The Xylos gateway was exposed. I gave the command, my voice cutting through the low hum of the ready jump drive. The ghost is clear. From the dark space behind a barren moon, the Alliance fleet emerged. A vast armada appearing from nowhere. They jumped directly into the Xylos system. The skeleton crew of Praxian defenders was caught in utter surprise. The invasion was not a battle. It was an execution. Halfway to the Serpent's Coil, the news hit the bridge of the Vigilance. Xylos had fallen. The High Commander stared in disbelief, his face turning to stone. He had been tricked, humiliated. He turned his furious gaze on his intelligence officers. Sub-Director Talar met his eyes. She said nothing. The truth was screaming louder than any alarm. They had chased a ghost, and they had lost the war. The name Kalen Vance is not in any official record. No medal, no monument. But in the quiet halls of Alliance intelligence, he is a legend. A quiet tribute to the man who never was, but who gave everything. I look at the star map. Xylos is blinking green. A new frontier is open, all because of a ghost. A ghost we created, and a story the enemy was desperate to believe. Weeks later, a final report landed on my desk. A tech analysis of the biosynth's recovered neural core. Most of it was corrupted, as planned. But one data fragment remained. It was a single, newly generated image file. It was a flower, a Noctis gallica, a ghost lily, one we had never designed. It was glowing. A thought, not a memory. A dream from a man who never was. And I wondered, if a lie can dream, what happens when it wakes up? You watch the data scroll up the screen. Cerberus shipyards neutralized. Minimal alliance losses. The reports do not mention the other side of the ledger. The thousands of Krill technicians and workers on those shipyards who were vaporized in an instant. They never even knew a war had come for them. They were just casualties of a ghost story. In the midst of the quiet celebration, Jax appears at your side, his face pale. "Sir, we have a problem." He hands you a data slate, an intercepted message from a low-level Krill analyst. His name is Kreetak. He found a flaw, an engine inconsistency in the Mark IV Scout. If that report is believed, the Crimson Wave could be recalled. "Silence him," Admiral Thorne says, his voice cold as the void. You turn to Jax. "How?" Jax visibly flinches. He wipes a hand across his brow, a bead of sweat tracing a path down his temple. "Sir, this is not forging a commendation. This is painting a target on an innocent man." His voice drops to a near whisper. "We would embed a memetic tag in his public encryption key. It is dirty code. The moment their internal security scans his profile, he'll be flagged as a dissident. They will. Take him apart." Your mind flashes with an image. The honest face of Major Marr. Another innocent caught in your web. You meet Jax's troubled gaze. Your voice is steady, devoid of all emotion. "Do it." 2 weeks later, the war is over. The Krill hegemony surrenders unconditionally. You watch the victory parades on a monitor in your office. The cheering crowds seem a universe away. In the quiet of the forge, you open Major Marr's file one last time. You look at the face of the man whose memory you stole. Then, you hit delete. You wipe him, Anya, their entire fabricated life from existence. The ghosts are laid to rest. But as you stand on the observation deck, watching the real stars, you know one of them remains. You deleted Kalen Marr from the archives. But his ghost, that calm, professional voice from the audio log, now lives only inside you. You look out at the endless sea of light, and you finally understand the truth of your victory. You did not just create a ghost for the enemy. You created one for yourself.